Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we got for you. William Hinman closer to China than you think. Was he working for the SEC or was he actually working for China? We got BAKKT in the news. Panama, crypto regs, and XRP's in it too. BRICS coalition, you'll want to know about it. The ECB, and how about the DTCC that handles more than $2 quadrillion in settlement of derivatives every year, and their new CEO and what he's focused on. You're going to like that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. And you can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen right here. And we are currently sitting at $1.827 trillion market cap for crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Happy afternoon. It is May 2nd, 2022. Right now, Bitcoin 38,600 plus, Ethereum 2,800 plus. And we see at the number 6 spot, XRP's come up to now. And we are 61 cents, and we are still trying to fight off the 12.6 we've lost over the last 7 days. Look at the range of price here. We're ranging between 60 cents on the bottom and 63 cents on the top. We'll keep an eye on it. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this right here. You know, just last week, I ended up getting another buy-in on the Basquiat right here. It was, Jean-Michel Basquiat. Love his work. I've bought in a couple times now, and it's 99% almost fully vested. So it's $20 a share, and you can invest in some of the most incredible art, just like the richest people in the world have been doing for decades upon decades, for $20 a share. That's what I love about this thing. So pretty remarkable. Check the link out underneath the video. I will put it there for you. Don't miss out. It is out. All these works are outperforming the S&P, by the way. So make sure you check it out for yourself. William Hinman was involved deeply in the Alibaba IPO. So now we know this puts William Hinman just 1 degree away from the son of the former premier of China. Was William Hinman working for the United States SEC or China? Fair question. You know, if you take a look at this tweet that I had over the weekend here, another great place to start digging, and a little birdie tells me that BitDeer, which is a spinoff of Bitmain that's now in the United States mining Bitcoin, I think the largest one, in fact, apparently sells their Bitcoin every 72 hours. Every Bitcoin they mine. If they really believed in its long-term value, wouldn't they hold it for profit too? Things that make you go, And let alone to tie in itself, looking at this, just going into this, there is the former son of the premier of China from New Horizon here. And then obviously see the Alibaba, Ant Financial, and everything that went on there. William Hinman was absolutely connected to that IPO for Alibaba. So really puts him one step away from the former son of the former premier there. Lots of questions. There's more questions than there are answers. That is for sure. And I hope all of us continue to ask them and continue to dig to find the real answers and the truth. Telegram and Ton organization partnership, and now the messaging company will accept Toncoin. It says here, crypto as a means of payment. Toncoin will be available for free crypto payments among Telegram users. How about that one? Things are changing, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, we see BAKKT and Global Payments announce strategic alliance. They will collaborate on use cases, starting with enabling cryptocurrencies redemption in customer loyalty programs offered by bank card clients. You know, BAKKT is owned by ICE, Intercontinental Exchange. Intercontinental Exchange not only owns BAKKT, but it also owns the New York Stock Exchange. I think they might know what's coming. Right here from ProCoin News. Shout out to them and give them a follow. Panama has plans to make XRP, XTC, and BTC and other crypto legal tender, with El Salvador and the Central African Republic being the first two nations to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Other regions around the world are taking notice quickly. One of those regions that are trying to follow the footsteps of these two countries is Panama, which is currently attempting to pass legislation related to crypto adoption. If Panama's National Assembly actually passes the recent proposals, the country will have been able to establish a framework on how to regulate digital assets. Secondly, this would then build the foundation for it to accept crypto assets as payment, which would include XRP, XTC, and Bitcoin. That is exciting. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to see what happens here. But this is a reminder here because we understand that the Russian-Ukraine conflict is not over. We know SWIFT sanctions for payments have been a huge key point in the sanctions going against Russia for invading Ukraine, And this has created, obviously, a lot of action being pursued to create new financial payment systems to work around SWIFT, the messaging system for the financial world. Right? So here we see here in this Kevin Cage tweet, shout out to you, Kevin Cage, the company Ripple and XRP sure have a lot of connections to the BRICS coalition, which is in fact Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South African nations. It says here's a quick example for each country. Feel free to add more below. Talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Starts with Brazil here. Ripple met with Brazil Central Bank. Ripple launched operations in 2019, partnered with banking giants such as Santander and Bradesco, also Banco Rendimento. It says here, Russia found that Central Bank of Russia tested XRP in multiple national payments. And then you can see here, India, former governor of Reserve Bank of India, spoke at Ripple's 2019 swell. Absolutely, he did. And we come down here. China, Ripple met with People's Bank of China. Also, dLocal, huge Ripple partner, connected with Alipay and WeChat, over 1 billion users, plus Tencent and Ant Financial. South Africa, Mercury to boost remittances, time, money, savings to South Africa using ODL. Also, Zago founded South Africa, issued on XRP Ledger. I tell you, it goes on and on and on here. Egypt joins BRICS NDB, National Bank of Egypt, largest bank, joins Ripple Network for cross-border payments. National Bank of Egypt and Lulu International Exchange connect through RippleNet to evaluate remittances and experience into Egypt $24 billion inflows in payments there. Goes on to even list here, there are a dozen of central banks and other countries that have deep ties as well. We know the UK, the UAE, Japan, Singapore, Korea, Mexico, Australia, and more. You can feel free to list others. Ripple Van Winkle down here chimed in and said, how about Trangolo and using XRP into China? How about Ripple posting a CBDC job in India? How about Ripple stating 80% of banks in India are already on RippleNet? And the list goes on, and it certainly does. What a great post from Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. This is a reminder here from European central banks begin exploring user interface for digital euro payments. Now, this is speaking to exactly what we're coming off of from the BRICS news, right? But now we're over with the European Central Bank and the euro itself. And looking at this, I just want to read this to you. The European Union will be moving ahead with its digital euro investigation, including exercises on how people will interact and pay with digital coin if it is adopted. The European Central Bank put out a call for payment service providers, banks, and various other relevant companies with an exercise to make prototypes for user interfaces to work with the digital euro. I think that's saying a lot right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we know that Ripple is, in fact, on the Digital Euro Association as well. So prototyping for user interfaces will begin with information session in June to talk about specifics of the project. We'll keep you up to date to all of that. Now, take a look at this. Now, I'm only going to play a short clip of this because this is R3 talking about tokenization versus digital issuance right here with JP Morgan Scott Lucas on distributed ledger technology. Take a quick listen here.
A token is a representation of something that exists somewhere else. So, you can take a tokenized representation and fractionalize that for buildings. You can have a token that represents a security interest as represented by securities locked up in a particular place. You could basically tokenize any asset that you control the location of. You can represent that value as a token on the chain to change the mobility of ownership and the frequency and accuracy and precision of that mobility on blockchain. That's kind of like how we think about the term token.
And there you have it. And it's basically saying this. We know that R3 is already working with the Italian banking system. period. They told us that a year or more ago, right? Now they're on to tokenizing, whether we're talking actual real estate securities, right? Or whether we're talking about derivative product securities, right? Whether we're talking about stocks, bonds, and things of that nature as well. This, I'm telling you, if we're in that threshold where it feels like, is this ever going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? What do you think all of these people are discussing right now, right? They're not stopping. None of these people that are actually out here building the ecosystem are throwing their hands up and going, well, it's too hard and it's taking too long. And I'm not trying to be condescending to anyone hearing this, but I think it's important to recognize the people that are actually building the ecosystem are extremely bullish, just like this guy. The new CEO, the DTCC, is Frank LaSala right here, who says, my background will enable me to further strengthen the firm's efforts to identify industry needs and work collaboratively with our stakeholders to solve these challenges while continuing to drive innovation. Well, there's the guy right there. And let's start taking a look at it really quickly here. DTC's Project Ion platform moves to develop phase following successful pilot. Remember this? We covered it. The prototype pilot demonstrating capability of distributed ledger technology to support T+1 and T+0 settlement with planned launch platform in the first quarter of 2022 has yet to launch that we're aware of. But right here we see the DTCC announced that Project Ion, an alternative settlement platform, distributed ledger technology, will move into development phase following a successful prototype pilot with leading market participant firms with 6 months of testing and proof of concept now complete. The DTC has quantitative data in order to move forward with the workflow and the roadmap subject to regulatory approval. Well, isn't that interesting? You know that Ripple and the XRP ledger are subject regulatory approval too? Do you know that Ripple and the XRP ledger can help affect settlement to T+1 and T+0 too? Do you remember that the SEC just a couple months ago voted unanimously to use distributed ledger technology to also shorten the settlement time from T+1 to T+0, also from T2, T3, and so on, right? Yeah, this is getting good, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's change gears and go to the case. I asked this question this morning. I'm going to ask it again on the internet, and we've got some answers here. So I asked a question to all the legal analysts out here. Did Judge Torres' decision to shorten summary judgment schedule send a signal to the SEC that however she rules on the emails and DPP, the SEC will not be able to appeal her decision to Second Circuit Court, allowing further delays into 2023. The reason I asked that question is because Judge Torres chose to change the timeline, not allowing this case to go in summary judgment schedule into 2023. So why would she turn around and allow the SEC the ability to appeal her decision on the DPP and emails that would also take us right back into 2023? Well, one take on this right here is David Landau, who says, yep, you bet Judge Torres is the boss in this case, and she told the SEC she ain't putting up with their stupid you-know-what. And then here we had a great response from Bill Belisarius. He says, I don't think the message is that specific. Judges are very cautious not to show any trace of prejudgment of issues or apprehended bias. I think she was letting the parties know who controls the case. Really appreciate that response. However, Bill also says down here that he's really acknowledging exactly what I'm asking. Sherry V says, my perspective is that it may be a scheduling issue since she does have other cases to contend with. Bill says, yes, quite possibly. I do feel there is a subtle message here. However, given the SEC had always previously obtained any delay or time it wanted. And that's exactly the point I was making. Thank you, Bill. And the point I've been making in this is to ask this question is simply this. It is to say, is she sending the message that you are out of favor? This has gotten completely out of hand, and there's no reason for me to allow you to continue to delay going forth, because you've taken 3 different positions on attorney-client privilege just in this case. And that being the case, I'm not a lawyer, 12 years short of a law degree, but I think she's starting to feel that everything that they've done to this date is appeal proof, and she sees no further need to accommodate. That's what I'm picking up on here. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like and subscribe. I think this is getting good. Yeah. Price might be low, but I think this is getting very good right here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Check out all the links in the description and comment box, ladies and gentlemen. They're great products and specials I use each and every day, but you got to click the links to get them, and they're trusted, vetted links. I'll catch all of you on the next one.